Hoosier Trapper Outdoors is brought to you by Hoosier Trapper Supply, Leatherwood Creek Trapping Scents, HTS Productions, Hoosier Trapper Deer Scents, and Leatherwood Wildlife Art.
All right, thanks for joining us for this episode 11, season 4 of Hoosier Trapper Outdoors. 2 days before Christmas, so I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And hopefully in terms of the fur market, we'll see better days to come. Not in the foreseeable future, but it always comes back around. So starting a new year here shortly. Anyways, in this episode we are, Justin will have the follow-up on the farmland location. We'll have a couple product highlights, and then we'll do our, of course, our Trapline diary, and then also our question and answer segment. So hope you enjoy the show. All right, for a product highlight, digging tools, options for putting in dirt holes, pocket sets, whatever. This is primarily dirt hole predator set related tools right here. We've got just the basic trowel, comes in wide, narrow, D handles, whatever. Got the dirt hole punch. This actually driving the ground, give it a turn, pull it out, and then you dump your dirt out right here. Kind of makes a perfect mouse hole. Definitely people that use those. Got the thing here so you can get it out of the ground. Very small hole. I guess just kind of another option. Past few years, these augers have become quite popular. Obviously, you hook them up to a rechargeable drill and dig your dirt hole. They're available in 2 and 3 inch sizes. These have been very popular with trappers. There's even some guys that hook them up to the electric run motors with the longer auger on it. But anyways, another way to put in the dirt hole. And then the 3-in-1 tool. This is the tool that we put in with our predator trapping kit. It's got the hammer, hoe for digging your trap bed, driving your stakes, or stake driver, and then the trowel end right here. So this is just kind of a handy tool. Get everything all in one item, and just less to carry around. So just actually 4 options here for putting your dirt hole sets in. All right, check day 7. Going up the side of the mountain right now. The road's a little rough. Hopefully the camera's halfway still. Justin's holding it, so we I think we've got about 109 sets to check today, and I think we pulled 3 yesterday that just kind of logistics sets or whatever, pulled those, and added 14 new sets, so I think that's how it comes out. But anyways, at some point today too, we'll show you how we kind of keep track of all of this, and so we don't forget where we put sets, and not to miss anything, because you can't remember that many sets and locations spread out over this much distance. You have to do some record keeping. So much cooler today. Right now it's 27 degrees. We'll have a cold front came through last night, and so we'll have to see how that affects how the animals ran last night. Just go from there. So we'll keep you posted.
All right. Check day 7, first trap of the line. Right here, I had a dirt hole next to the main road here, and I can hear a disturbance back here. We can go check it out and see.
It's a good way to start the day out.
Yep, great day to start like this. That drag really worked from that main road, because that gets heavy travel for the most part for what it is, and we're probably 15-20 yards from the main road back here in the brush, so really did the job.
There's no way that anybody driving by here would have seen this.
Yeah, heck, we didn't know until we got right up on the set we had something. So pretty cool. We're gonna take care of him and remake, make sure my top dog is still down in the dirt hole, maybe put a little bit more lure down, and bobcat urine.
One thing about this coyote that Justin just caught, that drag is got like a 12-foot chain on it. So the longer the chain, the more likely they are to get hung up. For guys that put 5-6 foot of chain on it,
go a lot further on that.
Right. So your chances of them getting away or getting very far from you or where you have difficult finding them decrease significantly by the length of the chain. So
we're at the crime scene today.
just driving down the road and we see all these turkey feathers and started clear over there, come up here. There's actually some more up the road, so it takes a pretty good sized animal to do that. So we're probably figuring it's a coyote, possible bobcat, whatever, some sort of predator after this turkey. So clearly benefits of trapping to keep those predators under control, give the turkeys a bit of a break, and certainly a good benefit. We've noticed a lot of trappers over the year, or a lot of hunters over the years have picked up trapping after they get done deer hunting in the fall, just to do some control work on their property leases, their deer leases, or their or where they turkey hunt or whatever. So anything from possum, skunks on up have an effect on nesting birds, and then of course the larger predators can take the bigger birds, so the adult birds. So anyways, just kind of cool. I mean, not cool, but kind of interesting. Here in the middle of the road, we had a turkey massacre going on. So. All right, cool. We hit a long dry spell there. We caught that coyote, very first trap, first thing this morning, and now we've got the gray fox. But there's been a lot of traps checked between this that coyote and this fox. So it's nice. It's good to see this after that dry spell that we had. So Justin caught a gray a couple days ago, just right down the same push out road right here. So anyways, we'll see. He hadn't checked it yet. Well, maybe we'll have a double. So I'll take care of him, and Justin will go check his trap. All right, here's the remake on that set we just caught the gray fox in. Kind of a big old wallered out dirt hole. Got a lot of visual to it. You can make big dirt holes, little dirt holes. You can argue till the cows come home about which one's better. The one that's better is the one that's catching the stuff. So clearly you can vary that and add all kinds of variations to this stuff. But anyways, they'll all catch fur, and I don't have a definitive answer for you. So on size of dirt hole, but if push comes to shove, I'm going to lean more towards a larger one than a smaller one, just for the visual effect. So anyways, we've got the remake, and hopefully another fox will come along. Hey, also, I just while we're stopped here, just kind of show you what we do to keep track of things. Typically what we do is we'll start out our first day setting, and we'll make references, and we'll have road numbers, and then we'll write down the number of sets that we have at a location, and then we'll put some sort of location reminder, some sort of landmark or whatever, end of a pine plantation, start of a clear cut, that type of thing. We'll just go on down, and that's our first day. So our second day, we continue down in that same area, and we just put that here. And we continued through, and then we pulled these, so I marked them out, and then we got on a different road and a different road and different road and different road. We just kind of follow the same thing: number of traps, right side of the road, left side of the road, and some sort of reference, whether it be some sort of landmark. So we just continue that route through the whole thing to keep track of all your sets. When you're in a new area, and even if you're not in a new area, but if you're in a new area particularly, and out of your element that you're typically in your home state, you have to do this. There's no way. I consider myself to have a fairly good memory, but there's no way that you can remember everything, and it's just too easy to miss something. So we keep track of several things. We have our GPS, and then we'll have and it's pretty accurate even for these very remote roads that are even blocked off, or in some cases grown up with trees, but the road may still be a lot of times it's still on the GPS. We'll have state-oriented state maps that we've got from the state of that you go into, and then these gazetters, which are great. I mean, very detailed. Got secondary roads, unimproved roads. One thing on this trip that we noticed, when they say unimproved road, it's an unimproved road. The property or the area that we trap, the first part of the first trip that we come down here, the unimproved roads, a lot of them you can get down, but this one here you can't. So you'd have to have a very high clearance four-wheel drive truck, which I don't have. So and even still, they would be so slow going, you would have to really warrant, decide in your mind whether it was worth taking that route versus something that you can go through more efficiently. So, but anyways, these maps here, they're available for every state, very detailed and invaluable to have, particularly if you take these kind of trips. And one thing too, very, very important, is to get your guidebook, hunting guidebook with the regulations, rules, and that kind of thing in it. So invaluable. It's a good idea to study this up as much as possible, and do everything to the best of your ability to do things the way you're supposed to. So, but anyways, I just want to mainly show you how we kind of keep track of where we have sets and how we keep track of things, and we just keep adding pages as the days go along. These are new sets, day 6, and so on. So anyways, that's kind of how we do it. But we get questions about this kind of stuff from people, and I've been doing it quite a while. Trapped Kansas for several years, and then we've been switched gears and we've been coming to Arkansas for several years, and we're going to add some other states here in the future. So kind of got in the frame of mind of doing this. But I remember back when we very first came down here, it was kind of like, my goodness, this is kind of overwhelming as to to get in the swing of things on how to do all this stuff. So it's like going hunting out west on public property, particularly if you're in BLM land and private land that's been leased to the state for hunting and all that kind of stuff. And in some states out west, they're incredibly picky about walking across private land to get to public land, all that kind of stuff. So there's little chips that you can get for GPSs that'll actually show you that stuff too, and they're about $100. Quite frankly, I tried to locate one for the state of Arkansas, and I couldn't find one, and I know they have them. Just wherever I was at, they were out. So it's another thing to think about and consider. So that's about it. But I wanted to kind of show you how we keep track of our records and what we do.
All right, we're at a set I put in yesterday. Charlie's mentioned this before. It's pretty important if you're going to keep running lines like this, is punch new sets in whenever you can. This is where we actually ate lunch at yesterday, and when we were finished done skinning and everything, I just threw one right here through the drag back there in the pine, and there's commotion going on back here. Mr. Coyote.
All right. He's hiding.
He'll be fun to dig out of the briars.
Yeah, he's in those green briars pretty good, isn't he?
Yep. Pretty cool. We'll take care of him and remake the set.
Yeah, this day is a coyote in the very first trap this morning, and then a pretty long stretch, and we caught that gray, and then another really long stretch, and now we're in fresh new locations.
Yeah, we got like a dozen traps left or so.
Yeah,
at this point.
12 traps left, 6 more locations. So, had we not had we not set these up yesterday, wouldn't have got this coyote. But you know, some days are better than others, and you got to take the good with the bad. It's just the reality of the trap line. So, and the reality of trapping, not, you know, clearly, as we say all the time, animals move differently, and some nights are far better than others. So, last night was just one of those nights where we're a little off. But anyways, 2 coyotes and a gray for today. We'll take it. All right, we got Justin remaking that set that just had the coyote in it. You can kind of see it's kind of a big camp area right here. Basically a big deer camp, and you know, kind of a standout location. It's got obviously cleared out. He's up against the brush there, and obviously caught the coyote first night too. First night the trap was set. We'll go take a look at the remake here in a minute. All right, here's the remake on that set. Pretty inconspicuous. Just a barely little bit of a dirt hole showing. Bait's down in there, of course. Because this was on a drag, and it was just made yesterday, it really doesn't need any attention in terms of additional, you know, attractant or scent. The only thing you got to check on, sometimes whatever you catch will eat the bait. In a drag situation, that rarely happens. So, you know, this one's basically put the trap back in, sifted the dirt over it, and it's good to go. So
I could smell it when I was remaking it, so I
yeah,
it was still good. If I can smell it, I know it's still there.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one thing a lot of people want to over lure, over bait, you know, sets, and typically it's better if they have a chance to kind of age or settle in. So instead of continually adding that sound or that smell to it, where you got that real harsh smell all the time. So the animals have sense very, very keen. They'll smell it. So anyways, that's the remake, and we've got 6 locations, 12 traps yet to check, and we'll see if we can pull this day a little bit more out of the doldrums. So anyways, see what happens. All right, check day 7, done checking traps. Checked quite a few traps. I think 100 and whatever I said, 107, 109 sets. That's the reality of trapping. We only caught 3 things today. And as we said, that cold front came through last night. It's considerably colder today, pretty windy. So I'm sure that affected the way stuff, you know, the animals moved. You know, just obviously wasn't that good of a night. And some nights, and anybody that traps or fishes or hunts, there's some days that are better than others. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's just the way these animals move. So clearly, this is the result of minimal animal activity last night.
Yep.
So we caught the 2 coyotes and the gray fox. The funny thing about the 1 coyote, Justin catches it first thing this morning, first trap, you know, and you think, oh man.
Yeah, I thought this might be a good day.
We're in for a roll, but boy, it came to a screeching halt pretty darn quickly. So.
Yeah, we caught that first trap, and then the gray was about midway through, and then the last coyote was kind of on the tail end, so it was kind of like spaced out.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
So yeah. The plan is to get these skinned up, and we're going to set a few traps yet today. We're pulling. We got 3 more check days, and the 3rd check day we're pulling traps, and we have to get to the Arkansas Game and Fish office to get the bobcats tagged. So we got to be a little conservative on how many more traps we set in order to get that accomplished on Monday, as far as getting everything pulled, packed up, and out of here, because the office closes at 4:30. So we're gonna set traps, but we're going to restrain ourselves somewhat from getting too carried away with setting. You know, we're not going to set 40 more sets. So because it's already, I think right now, probably approaching 2:30, and we only caught 3 animals. So
yeah, I can imagine if we catch 7 or 8, then it's an hour, well, a little over an hour to get out of here up to where we need to be.
Yeah, probably an hour and 20 minutes. So
we'll be pushing time. So
we've had a different skinning spot every day, and it's typically at the end of where we're last checking traps. So beautiful scenic location here. We've got this little pond here in the woods, and so yeah, very scenic spot.
Yeah. Charlie even threw a dirt hole behind here.
Yeah, we've got a dirt hole behind us. It's this sure won't hurt it. So anyways, we'll see what happens. In fact, the spot where Justin caught the last coyote is where we skinned.
Yep, this one right here.
Yesterday. So, that activity doesn't seem to bother them. All right, these are kind of cool. They've been around a long time. We used to carry them years ago, kind of got away from it, and then just recently started carrying them again. Tunnel traps, designed for mink trapping. Basically, you can take this and just shove it right in the bank of the creek. And of course, the mink are going to come along and check out any opening or hole or whatever to look for crawdads, minnows, mice, whatever. So anyways, it's set at this point, so the mink's going to go inside, hit the pan right there, and essentially it's similar to like a conibear type trap. If I can get this thing opened, and then that just going to come up like that. So it's obviously held up against the wall of the trap. For those of you that do some ADC trapping, obviously it's going to work on squirrels, that kind of thing too. They come in 2 sizes. It's not that you need dozens of these things, but a few of them on the trap line to try out for mink trapping or whatever, definitely something to consider.
All right, we got this coyote here. Awesome location. I've talked about this spot in the last episode. We had a farmland location that time of the year where we went ahead and just punched in some sets instead of filming in advance. But yeah, I like it paid off. There's a creek line right here that I talked about last week. It hits another crop change up behind me where the woods kind of start. Here to my left, good probably half a mile till you hit the woods. It's just straight up farm country, which is corner beans here in Indiana for the most part. And behind the camera is a little bridge intersection where all these crops kind of come together. A good travel point for these animals to run. And finally a coyote came through and we picked him up here. This set in particular wasn't a dirt hole. It was in the middle of the lane and mixed in with this grass. Kind of blended it real well, kind of hidden. Put down some Predator gravy. That's a new one we got on the line. We've been using it for the past couple seasons, but we're just now introducing that to the public to where it's available for anyone to get. It works like a trailing scent. Kind of ran that across this whole lane to kind of break up his path of travel if he came through. With that, I added some black gold Predator lure, and paid off. We got him here. This trap's only been here a couple days. Maybe we'll have some more come through here soon, but for now, we'll take care of this guy. We got MB 550 right there. Very nice, solid trap. I can tell by the catch right there. Full paw. He's fully committed to the trap. No toe catch here. I do have some shock spring added there just to help with that, but we're going to take care of him, remake the set, and hope we get another one here in a few days. Alright guys, here's the remake. Like I said, farm lane ditch right down the center of it. Blended. No dirt hole, not even using bait. I had lure in the Predator gravy, new Predator gravy here. Just wanted to show you that remake after catching that coyote. Got him taken care of. He's sitting over there. Just wanted to show you after I shot him all the blood. I know a lot of guys are concerned with that at the set and move it. And Charlie's addressed this several times in previous shows. I usually just kick some dirt over it best I can, blend it, throw some grass on it. Just try and kick some up over here. Just a little bit, cover it up some. I don't think it hurts anything. That's good enough for me right there.
All right, for this Q&A question and answer segment, we get a lot of questions. We're trying to work off the ones that maybe are the most commonly asked, or questions that are commonly asked to us over the years. The first one, and we've addressed this before, but it's coyotes and remake sets and blood and all that kind of issue. Typically, unless it's rained 2 inches and you just got a soupy, soppy trap location, when you make a catch, those we don't reset. But just because, it's basically impossible. But we always reset that trap in that catch location. Now, it is true that coyotes will shy away from those catch circles or get wise to them, but they still are attracted to that general area and attracted by the curiosity of that location. Now, and that I'm talking coyotes pretty much specifically. Typically, if you have a fox or a bobcat, that set is a sure magnet for those two animals in the future. The always remake, like I said, that location is always a good location in terms of just attraction to the general area. But if you've noticed that you're having trouble getting them to commit to that location, then clearly you want to go move over. It only has to be 10 or 15 feet and put in another set. And if they're starting to get wise to, just too much thrown at them, just use some urine alone, and keep it really kind of subdued in terms of actual attraction. Make urine post set, flat set, or even a dirt hole, but just use urine. Don't even use any bait or lure. So they're attracted by that catch circle, and then a lot of times you can, and if you've noticed that you're having issues with them committing to that, and put in that other set and see if you can pick them up over there. There's a lot of trains of thoughts, and a book could be written about what I'm talking about right now. But always make the remake if it's possible, and then work off of that location. You already know it's good, so you just need to put in the extra things to make it where you're catching coyotes. So I hope that helps. In terms of the blood, as I've said before, it's kind of like a crime scene. You cannot remove all that blood. So if it bothers you, dig it up and throw it out, cover it up, whatever. To me, it is just got some added attraction to it. Everything around there smells the same, so we don't sweat it that much. So however that makes you feel, you can handle that blood, but you cannot remove all of the blood if you shot that animal or whatever in that location. So, anyways, they know that it's there. The other one is lure usage at a set. And one trapper wrote us and said that, hey, can I just use Vixen Elixir by itself, or do I need to put a gland lure with it? Typically on an average on a dirt hole set, you're going to use lure, bait, and urine, all three. And variations of that, if things start getting a little bit like I just talked about. So in that situation, a lot of times on the dirt hole, we will use two different lures. And so you got your dirt hole and you put one lure here and one lure here, bait and hole in your urine back here in the backing area. There was a study that was done, I think it's back in the 70s, by Major Boddicker out of Colorado. He's a wildlife biologist. And his study showed that if you threw three different smells at him in terms of lure, that the chances increased of having that animal attracted to the set. So yeah, the lure will definitely stand on its own, and a lot of times we only use one lure. But here more lately we've started adding two lures at a location. And one thing I want to make clear on that is we're not putting each lure on top of the next lure. So in other words, then you'd only have one smell because they'd be mixing together. We're putting one lure here and moving over 3 inches and putting the other lure there, so that you have two distinct smells. And so to answer the question, yes, any lure will stand on its own. If you add something else, I think you're that much better off. And I'm not just telling you that to sell lure. You don't have to do that. But when things get a little bit tough as the season goes along, that's something else you can throw at them. So, and this was based on the study that this wildlife biologist did. So, anyways, I hope that helps you. One thing too, one question was about, do I need to add a gland lure to it? And typically, the time of year that we're in right now, when the coyotes really are just kind of hanging out. And if you read the blog that I'm going to put up this week, it kind of refers to all of that, is gland lures. This is the time of year that probably gland lure is the least effective, because it's not really a territorial time of year for coyotes. The pups have dispersed, they're just kind of hanging out. So probably gland lure is not that super effective to use this time of year. You'll catch stuff with it, but it's still not that super effective. So curiosities, call lures, that type of thing are probably a much better choice. So anyways, I hope that helps, and keep sending those questions. All right, our new catalog, our 2015-2016 catalog is available. It's got everything you need in it for trapping, fur handling. It's got our line of deer hunting scent in there. So if you'd like one, just give us a call. We'll be glad to take your information over the phone. You can certainly contact us through our website and request a catalog through there by way of email, and we'll be glad to send you one. You can actually print your own catalog through our website as well if you want to do something like that. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, and that'll keep you kind of up to date as to what's going on.
Join us on January 8th for an all-new episode of Who's Your Trapper Outdoors.